Hello, starting another pair of pants because that's totally what I need. I've got yet another one right here. I've got two more in my room. Anyway, these ones, I'm starting with a cargo pants base, so they're pretty like wide leg. And I'm half millennial. I can't wear wide leg pants. So I'm tailoring them, and I just wanted to show how I'm doing that. This is not like proper tailoring advice. These are very DIY punk pants kind of thing. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is turn them inside out. And I took safety pins. I safety pin, put them on, and then you can't even see down there. I pinched in like how, just a second. Very stylishly, we have our inside out pants. As you can see here, I just kind of took the fabric that was loose and figured out kind of like how I wanted it. I didn't want it to be skin tight. So I wanted there to be a little bit of a margin, and I just kind of placed safety pins every few inches down to the bottom, took them off, and then traced with a piece of chalk that line, and then I did a basting stitch while the safety pins were still in with you might be able to see a little bit of white poking through. It was like a running back stitch, pretty loose, just to make sure that these two pieces of fabric do not slide around when I'm sewing them together, because that will change the shape and not be good. And then I went back through the black thread here and did a proper back stitch. Trying to keep the stitches as little as I could, but not being like, this is not some Victorian dress. This is, no, it does not have to be very precise. But I did try to keep it all in a line and all the stitches connecting so that there's no like weird gaps when you turn it back right side out. So you can see, yeah, so once I finish the other leg, this won't have like a weird gap, and I will cut out some extra fabric, and you can see some of the basting stitches in there. But yeah, mostly what you can see is the basting stitches, which doesn't really matter to me. But the seam is pretty like tight in there. Now this, obviously, just doing a single line of back stitching is not as sturdy as like the seams that come with the pants, but because I am doing punk pants, I'm gonna be putting patches on them and stuff, so I'm not too worried about this seam. There's gonna be like other fabric and sewing that goes over it. Just make sure at the end where you're at the bottom, I did a bit of extra back and forth stitching and just try to reinforce that area since there will be more friction on that. Yeah, so the next step, I'm going to mirror it on the other side by bringing it back inside out, and since I tried it on and I like the fit of it, which the basting stitches are also helpful. Once you've basted it, turn it back right side out and try it on just to double check that you like where that line is before you do the proper back stitching. But what I'm gonna do is like take the pants, fold them in half, and then trace this line to the other side and do the same thing, basting and then proper back stitch. And honestly, I'm pretty quick at sewing, so this only took me like a couple hours. So I think I'll be done with this tonight, and I'm pretty excited about that because then I can do the other stuff. Okay, so for tracing this line, I've folded them in half and matched up the seams, and we're just gonna see where that line is and mark it with chalk like that. Simple as that. Okay, I finished sewing it. I ran out of black thread, so you can see the white thread. I just had a scrap of it and I wanted to use it up. But yeah, so this is the shape. I really like how this has turned out. That's really nice. And yeah. I'm probably gonna go back through and like cut the excess fabric out of the inside. It's still in there. And then I might do like a blanket stitch or something similar to like serging the edges just to reduce some of the potential fraying of that material on the inside. But like I said, these seams are gonna end up getting like patches and other sewing over them, so it's not something I'm extremely worried about. And if it does wear out at some point in the future, which I don't think it'll be for a while, I will just repair them, so it'll be fine. I hope that was useful to you in some way, perhaps. Find some pants laying around and make them better. If you want to see more of what the heck I'm gonna do with these pants, I have some fun plans. Stick around.